Hey guys, this is my first video tutorial for jQuery, and I'm using JSFiddle.net website because it makes it easy to see results of your code as you type them in. My previous attempt to make a tutorial using regular IDE succeeded, but it doesn't really show the results, and I thought that JSFiddle.net would help me with that. So let's get started. First, if you go to JSFiddle.net, let's select jQuery 1.11. I'm not going to go into a second one. 1.11 is sufficient enough for the examples in this demo. So let's get started. jQuery uses the jQuery object, which is called jQuery, and we can use it to change all kinds of things. For example, this will select all divs on the page, and we can also assign variable name to it, or it to the variable name div. It doesn't matter what this is. It could be ABC, DEF, really anything, A1, but we're gonna say that this is div just to be consistent with this example. This is the selector. jQuery is a function, and it takes an argument. And in this case, we're going to select all divs. So let's just add some divs here into the HTML box. Let's say we have one, and we have another one. So now we have two divs. What this function is going to do for us is it's going to select the div elements and turn them into objects. jQuery object. jQuery object, jQuery, we can use the $sign in its place like this, and it's still going to work. This is the same thing. jQuery and the $sign there, it's the same. They're assigned to the same object. So it's easier to read when you're using the $sign. So now that we have gathered these two divs right here by calling this function and creating a jQuery object out of them. Now, by this time, the variable div contains these two. Now, let's see what happens. Here, we just created an object, so nothing's going to happen, but I'm going to go ahead and run. So this is the result on the page. We're seeing these two divs with two values, 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the jQuery methods, hide, on this selection and run. As you can see, they disappeared. And likewise, I can use the method show. That will reappear. So we have hidden them and we have shown them. Another method that jQuery has that many people use is CSS, which is going to change the actual CSS of those selected divs. So we can go like this, call the method name, and it takes a JSON string. Let's say we want to change the background color. Type in the CSS property, which is a standard CSS property background that you use anywhere else in CSS, and assign red. Now let's run this example. It changed the background of both of the divs to red as expected. So that's one use of this method. Or we can change the color, just the color. You will see that 1 and 2 will change color to red. Now they're red. Or we can do both. Let's change the color to yellow, and using a comma we can choose a second CSS property to be changed. Background. This time I will choose blue. I don't know why, but just to show this as an example. I'm going to run this example. Now we have background, blue background, and white, yellow color text. So this is one of the ways you can use jQuery to do simple operations that would have taken a lot longer to do by yourself and just typing plain JavaScript code. Another thing you can use, there's a method called div remove. It's going to remove the divs entirely from the document object model. Let's run that. That will disappear. The thing about this is, if you're going to try and show them again, let's see what happens. They're not coming up. That's because they are removed entirely from the document object model. So you can try to show them, but it's just not going to happen anymore. And this concludes the first tutorial. This is the basic principle of how we can select elements with jQuery and then use some methods that jQuery provides for us. And in the next tutorial, we're going to go into a discussion about some other more interesting things, not just the basics. So thanks for watching.